Hi, everyone. Welcome to Mind and More, where we talk about anything that comes to mind and more. Today, I'd like to share with you some fully funded master's scholarships that you can apply for as an African student in this 2024 to 2025 application season. But before I get to that, I'd just like to give a little backstory about myself. I'm an African and I'm a sciences master's student who applied to 3 different universities in last year's application season. And the outcome was that I got 2 fully funded scholarships and 1 50% scholarship. So I'd just like to share some of the things I learned along that journey and things that I think might be of help to someone. I'm going to share the scholarships that I applied for and some other scholarships that I considered at the time that I think are really good and someone else might be able to make use of them. Okay, so the first one is the Mastercard Foundation scholarships. These are fully funded and targeted at young Africans who are 35 years and below. So if you're 35 in January of the year that you apply, you're definitely eligible to apply for this one. And by fully funded, I mean they cover tuition, living costs, travel costs, and health insurance. And depending on the university, they may provide extras like laptop allowance, or they may cover your language test costs. The program is available in several universities, so it's up to you to decide which university would be a good fit for you. I'm going to mention some of the universities. We have universities like Arizona State University and University of California, Berkeley in the USA. There's also McGill University and University of Toronto in Canada, University of Cambridge, Edinburgh University, and University of Oxford in the UK, and Sciences Po in France. There's also some African institutions like the University of Pretoria, University of the Western Cape, and University of Cape Town in South Africa. I'm going to try and do a video soon where I share a step-by-step guide on how to apply to 1 or 2 of these universities. And then from here, I'd like to move on to some scholarships in Belgium. Belgium is also somewhere I applied during my time, during last year's application season. So we have 3 scholarships from Belgium. All 3 are fully funded, covering tuition, living costs, travel, and health insurance. The first one is the Vlir-uos ICP Connect scholarships. So these are for master's students who are 35 years and under, just like the Mastercard scholarships. There are several universities and 10 eligible master's programs to choose from, and 29 eligible countries. So the African countries that are amongst the eligible countries are Zimbabwe, Uganda, Tanzania, South Africa, Senegal, Rwanda, Niger, Mozambique, Morocco, Madagascar, Kenya, Guinea, Ethiopia, the DRC, Cameroon, Burundi, Burkina Faso, and Benin. So with this scholarship, there's a preference for applicants with work experience, but please don't shy away if you have little or no work experience. If you can prove you have strong motivation to apply, you can win this scholarship, and I'm speaking from personal experience. So something else that's good about this scholarship is that for some of the universities, there's no need for the IELTS if you can prove you did your undergrad degree in English. And then from the Vlir-uos scholarships, let's move on to Mastermind scholarships. So these Mastermind scholarships are available for study at a number of institutions in Belgium. You need to have a GPA of at least 3.5 on a GPA scale of 4. So that's about 2-1, a 2-1 degree class and above. You also need to have a 7 on the IELTS, and with this one, all African countries are eligible. And then finally in Belgium, we have the ARES-Belgique scholarships. The deadline for this one is close. So please, if you're interested in this, get on it as soon as possible. This year, the call for application ends on the 18th of October. So that's very soon. You have to be from one of the 31 partner countries and have at least 2 years work experience in one of these countries. In Africa, the eligible countries are Zimbabwe, Tunisia, Tanzania, Senegal, Rwanda, the DRC, Uganda, Niger, Mozambique, Morocco, Mali, Madagascar, Kenya, Guinea, Ethiopia, Cameroon, Burundi, Burkina Faso, Benin, and South Africa. So actually, most of these countries are African. And then finally, I'd like to talk about some scholarships in Finland. So these are not necessarily fully funded, but they can go a long way in cutting your costs if you end up winning one of these scholarships. I have 2 scholarships from Finland, one from the University of Oulu and another from the University of Tampere. So for both universities, there's no application fee, and both of these universities provide 50% to 100% tuition waivers to international students. However, keep in mind you may need a 6.5, at least a 6.5 on the IELTS. You don't need to put in a separate application for these scholarships, which is great. You just apply for whatever program you're interested in, and your offer letter will let you know if you've been awarded a scholarship and what portion of the tuition it covers. So applications to Tampere open in December for a 2 or 3 week period, while that for Oulu opens at the very beginning of January for 2 weeks. So pay close attention to the deadlines. And one thing I also loved about the applications to universities in Finland is that they're very simple, very straightforward. It's just your essay, providing your transcript. It's really not at all that hectic. And I also had a very good experience applying and interviewing at Oulu, and they were quick with the offer, so I would recommend them for their efficiency in the admissions process. And just a heads up, if you're going to apply to Tampere, please make sure you have a backup because the university is highly selective with a 0 to 9% admission rate. So it's not impossible to get in, but just make sure you have a backup just in case because they're very selective. So yeah, here we are. These are some of the scholarships I'd encourage you to look into if you're an African looking for master's scholarships abroad. I've placed the links to the pages for all the scholarships I mentioned in the description below. If you have any questions, you can email me on mindandmore24@gmail.com and I'll help if I can. When I started my search for funding, I really didn't believe I could get anything, but I was very wrong. Give it a shot, apply for as many scholarships as possible, and you never know what will happen. Good luck.